Well, good evening and welcome to another Tuesday Takeover on recent weeks here on BBC Radio Suffolk, on the show that lets people come in and do whatever they want. We've had all sorts of creative types. We've had artists, we've had poets, we've had writers, we've had people who make things, and tonight we have a whole bunch of musicians. They're all brought together by Ellie Tree, who we heard from at the start of the programme. It's ahead of a gig they've got at the Smokehouse in Ipswich, which is coming up. But on the bill will be Jeremy Johnson. He's going to play live in the half refurbished BBC performance area, which we have here down in the depths of Broadcasting House in Ipswich. We'll have a chat about inspiration and what he's up to, but let's hear a song first. Jeremy, over to you.
Okay, thanks. She said unto me, this is time you can see. There's a line she did draw in the sand. Somewhere along here's the last guitar song, dear, that'll come from your mouth and your hand. So play me a song, and I hope that I'm wrong. It might be the last one you sing. If morning arrives, then please live your lives. Embrace what this sandy line brings. If neither of us are awake. Well, morning did come with the dawn of the sun. I left with a smile in my eyes. It's funny to think that we're gone in a blink, as I gazed at the oceans and sky. Sat down to play, it was hit up one day. All that I know will be gone. Far from feeling fear, it was suddenly clear. There were so many things I'd not done, so many excuses had won. I went to that open mic. Clapped, but I felt so light. I told that girl that I liked her. She just laughed, but I felt lighter. And I carry on living this way, getting lighter every day, until I fly, till I fly. I say unto you, this is time and it's true. Just imagine a line in the sand. Somewhere along is a place you'll no longer be able to take your lover's hand. So I'll play you a song, and I hope that I'm wrong. It might be the last one you hear. If morning arrives, well, please live your lives and embrace every one of your fears. If neither of us are to wake, thankful for those open mics. Glad I told those girls I liked, because the moments I conquered my fears, they're the footsteps that brought me here. Truth, when I play this song, one person listens on, it makes me fly, makes me fly, makes me fly, makes me fly, it makes me fly, makes me fly, makes me fly, makes me fly, makes me fly.
Jeremy Johnson performing live here on BBC Radio Suffolk as part of our Tuesday Takeover, Ellie Tree and Friends. You nearly had me in tears there. I was on the
that was
edge.
the intention, John. You know?
What a beautiful song.
Thank you very much. It's very kind.
Thank you for sharing. Do you feel lighter and lighter? Is that what music does to you?
You know, when I wrote that song, I had no concept that I'd ever be playing it on the radio. So it's a really nice song because every time I play it in a bigger and bigger sort of situation and audience, and it becomes even more of a powerful message for me because it's exactly how I started out. Music was always something that I loved to do and made me feel good, and that's why I wrote that song. So yeah, it's a pleasure to play it for you.
As a message, though, if this is the last song that you hear, and unbeknown to you, I've had a very complicated week with all sorts of things and family illness. So the idea that be careful of the last conversations that you have with people.
Sure.
I think is a message that can't be reiterated enough. Be kind and nice to the people around you because when they're gone, they're gone. And that's a lovely way of expressing that.
Thank you very much. It's very kind.
Tell me a bit about your journey then to performing around. Do you make your living solely from being a musician these days, or do you have to supplement it with shoplifting and polishing shoes and what have you?
Who told you that? It's interesting. I do now. I've been a sort of full-time professional musician for 12 months. Prior to that, I was a geoscientist. Actually, from my entire 20s, I was working in the energy industry as a geologist. And I just got to the point where I wanted to have a go at music before it became too late, as it were. And I'm now in my 30s. So, as soon as I started doing it, I realised I should have done it earlier because I love it. And in the early days, you don't make much money, but as long as you sort of adjust your lifestyle to try and facilitate it, I think that's the main thing, right? And then you just carry on until the money starts to flow a bit better, so which hopefully it will.
at some point, there's some joke there about from rocks to rock music.
You're not the first person to say that. Yeah. I don't think you'll be the last either, John.
But that's the safety net of a career and a proper job to living hand to mouth as you might do when you're a student, particularly in the mature years of your 30s when you should be, if you've ever played the game of life, and collecting all your wealth and material possessions as you go around towards the bitter end, to give that all up is a brave step.
It's been an interesting one because I did come from a comfortable lifestyle. I was working a lot abroad and I had to give up a few things to come and do this. But actually, it's been a really good process because I think you can get stuck in that cycle of adjusting your lifestyle to your wage, and then suddenly you still have no money, but you just have all these things and these memberships to stuff, and actually coming back and really stripping it down to the bare bones is a fantastic experience, and I think everybody should try it. So everyone, when you get into your 30s or 40s, just drop everything and go and live in a van, and at least for a little bit, and then try and sort of revert to a more simpler way of life. And I think it works wonders for the mental health as well as the physical. So
when having job satisfaction, I mean, whether you give up one job to follow your dream in music, or whether your dream is to become a geologist and you have to give up your shoplifting career in order to do that, getting that sense of enjoying the day to day is really important for us as individuals, I think. And not everyone has the luxury of doing that, but then maybe people should be braver.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the privilege that I have is not lost on me. There would be many reasons why I wouldn't have been able to come and be a musician, but I do also believe that a really hefty chunk of sort of pursuing, I don't know the cliche phrase of pursuing your dreams, but pursuing what you feel is what you were here for, basically, which is how I sort of feel about music most of the time, is a case of just being brave and having a go at it. And I think everyone's capable of that, and I think we all sit behind a lot of excuses. I don't want to say all of us, but quite a few of us sit behind excuses. And that's also referenced in the song I just played as well. I was sitting behind a bunch of excuses as to why I shouldn't go and be a musician. And then eventually I said to myself, well,
there is always a reason not to do something.
Exactly.
If you ask enough people, you'll find a good reason not to do it. But also then life usually turns out the way you expect it to. And if you expect you not to do it and to resign yourself to an existence of grind and drudgery and all of that, then that's what you'll get. And if you want to be poor and live in the van but have people hum your songs occasionally, then
well, one can only hope.
There you go. Wait till you've gone through 2 or 3 hard winters, and then you'll.
Well, winter was tough this year. That was the first British winter I went through, actually, because last year I was
living
touring.
in a van is great on a summer's evening parked up in the woodland. But yes.
Well, I surf a lot in the summer, so I end up going down to France and Portugal, and that's wonderful. But then you come back to Britain and it's February, and you're in a car park in Suffolk, and you think, is this what I signed up for?
This is the romantic dream that we're doing. We're going to hear another song in a moment or two, but I asked you to pick an inspirational track, something that resonates with you. Who have you chosen and why?
I've chosen a fantastic American songwriter called Ray LaMontagne, and it's a song called Burn. And I tried to think of a song that was basically represents when I first started writing music. And there's so many artists that I could name that have had a big influence on me, but when I first started writing music was back in 2009. And I was just obsessed with Ray's album Trouble, and Burn has this passage in it which it just was seared into my memory when I first heard it. There's a lyrical passage in the song that you're going to play, which I won't repeat, but it's just seared into my memory, and it just became one of those seminal songs that I just remember exactly how I felt when I heard the song, and that's very important for my songwriting. I'd like to try and write songs which mean something and touch people, and certainly Ray did for me, so that's the story behind it.
Let's hear it. This is Ray LaMontagne and Burn. That's Ray LaMontagne and Burn, the inspirational track chosen by Jeremy Johnson, who happens to be one of Ellie Tree's friends. That's nice to have friends, isn't it?
It's fabulous, yeah. I'm glad to be counted in that, huge group.
Do you feel, so you kind of moved back to Suffolk and started singing and working and moving around here? Do you move around the country as well? Tell me about your nomadic lifestyle.
Yeah, I'm actually from Worcestershire originally. I came to Suffolk and I'm actually involved with an album project here, so I'm working with Old Jet Art Centre up in Rendlesham and Decoy Studios and a few fantastic local musicians who are, there's far too many of them to name, but I sort of got involved in the music scene here and through this album project, but otherwise I travel around wherever the gigs sort of take me, and I'd love to basically just tour the whole time within reason and sort of touch every part of the UK if I can. But
your geography must be brilliant.
It's all right. Probably not as good as I think it is. But
A roads that you've broken down on across
across
the north of England. We're going to hear another song from you. This is entitled The King and the Thief. What were you thinking and feeling when you put this down?
I remember I wrote this song at Christmas a few years ago, and I was outside the UK for quite a long time, for 4 years in Holland actually, and I came home and wrote this song. And the song is basically about that classic cliche thing of not knowing what you have until you've lost it. And a lot of my songs tend to be quite existentially focused. I love the idea of trying to figure out my own thoughts and feelings and why we're here on this planet and what this silly life means, and trying to put it down into songs. So yeah, it's just another one of those sort of rather philosophical sort of.
I was going to say, if you come up with a definitive answer to that, I think we could probably do with that.
Well, I think I'd be doing all right if I could actually. Yeah. But for the time being, I'll make sort of suggestions of what I think it might be. But yeah.
Life, the universe, and everything. I think it was 42, wasn't it? That was the answer.
Yeah.
Jeremy Johnson playing live here on BBC Radio Suffolk. This is the Tuesday Takeover and The King and the Thief.
Said the king to the thief as she stole his belief in his rule, I'd have given my name to the fires and the flames if I knew. All these dreams I have killed, the blood that's been spilled in my time, well, that shame is all mine, oh, shame is all mine. That shame is all mine, oh, shame is all mine. Said the thief to the king, it's the kindness that sets us apart. I admit if you'd known, you'd have given your throne for your heart. But your people have fled, your queen, she lies dead on the floor. Your reign is no more, reign is no more, your reign is no more, reign is no more. And these history books will carry your name for years. All the blood and the pain, the joy that may follow the tears. So remember when you are the king, respect all the power it brings, and be good, be good, be good. The jester replied as he stood by the side of his lord. For years you had laughed while my axe dulled the blade on my sword. While you ask for my arm, I can offer a joke or a rhyme. But this fight is not mine, no. This fight is not mine. This fight is not mine, no. The fight is not mine. These history books will carry your name for years. All the blood and the pain, the joy that may follow the tears. So remember when you are the king, respect all the power it brings, and be good, be good, be good. Be good, be good, be good, be good, be good. Be good, be good, be good.
Thank you very much. The King and the Thief performed live here on BBC Radio Suffolk by Jeremy Johnson, one of Ellie Tree's friends. They have a gig coming up. We might mention that a bit later on in the programme, so you can see them perform at the Smokehouse in Ipswich. We've got other gigs coming up, Jeremy, you want to plug? Lots.
Yes, lots.
Find me on social media.
Many. Oh, I'll be playing Bardfest here in July in Bardwell. What else in Suffolk? A few other things.
And a few other things. So easy to find. And if you like that, are you on the Spotify and things like that?
I am. I'm on the Spotify. I'm on the interweb and all that nonsense.
So you can give them a like and a follow and a nudge, and you can earn some pence eventually when you hit 50.
0.001p off the carry on.
Such is life. You chose the poor route. You could have been exactly. A minted geologist, but no, you are a musician, and we're very grateful that you are, because that was beautiful.
That's very kind.
Yeah, well worth going and checking out. It's BBC Radio Suffolk. We have a Tuesday takeover by Ellie Tree and Friends. Helen and Andy will be performing live in a moment or two. Let's have something from a man often classified as folk, but then maybe not folk as well. Bob Dylan. This is Buckets of Rain. Cool.
Great. Fab.
You are done. Butch will come in and unplug you and plug them in.
Thank you very much.
Hang around, but shoot off if you want to. Whatever.
No, I'll stick around.
Perfect.
Cheers,
Come
mate.
and chill here and listen to them, and then
Fab, thank you.